God, am I rusty? Sounds like a curry house. It's a bit of Bhangra, that, and it's nice, isn't it? I like that. I like a bit of Indian music. I've just found it on my streaming software because obviously I've got no music for this place, for this channel, so I can't use it. Bhangra Taxi Mick. All I need is a beaded seat cover. It's I thought it was quite cool, especially if you put your headphones on. That was in the streaming software. I used the editing software and the streaming software, should I say. No, I use the licensed music that I've got on my walking channel because I don't very often do it on here, and I just decided I was going to do something on here. To be honest, I thought some people might pop in. We haven't been on here for absolutely ages. So maybe people won't pop in, maybe not know I'm here. So I've changed it back to the Late Night Vape Show. Obviously, it's not monetised, so it doesn't really matter, does it? So just do what you want, really. It's a warm night. I've got the aircon on. I've let the cat in. The only thing I forgot to do, in 15 minutes, my alarm's going to go off. I've got to go and get my tablets from downstairs. How am I? I'm 99.9% now, to be honest. I feel a lot better. This warm weather really lays it out of me. I'm on beta blockers and it makes you really sweaty. And if you don't watch it, if you get sat in the sun, it makes your head pound. But other than that, I'm doing really well. I'm under a cardiac rehabilitation team. I'm going there tomorrow. I had to miss it last week because I got a different appointment. I had a little scare with something else, but it wasn't anything. And that's it. We're off. So it's hard to imagine that I was ever ill, to be really honest. You know, the only thing I do is I work really hard all weekend, and then on a Monday when I used to go for a walk, I feel absolutely knackered. I have lost some timber, yeah. Yeah, since I stopped drinking, I've lost 4 stone. I was 22 and a half, and now I'm 18 and a half, so that's right, 18 and a half, 19 and a half, 20 and a half, 21 and a half, 22 and a half, yeah, 4 stone. I've still got a bit on. I've actually got 2 of these shirts. One is a slightly different colour, but I've got to wear another one in between them. Otherwise, people think I just wear the same shirt all the time. So if anybody pops in, thank you very much for popping in. But I just thought we'd do this. There's still 1 or 2 people about doing the odd vape show here and there. People are really interested in it. People are watching reviews, aren't they? And stuff like that. So I thought, well, we might as well do something, until they actually say you can't actually do that anymore. Job done, that's it. Yeah, that's the first place it goes off anyway, isn't it? I'm a good couple of chins less than what I was. So anyway, I've just come in and I put the stream up at 8 o'clock because I thought hopefully it'll go through and people will get a notification, the ones that are still subscribed to it. There's still over 1,000, still over 1,200, I think. So hopefully they've got the notifications on and they're going to pop in and say hello because I say it may just make a change, just have a word with everybody, really. I was going to go on Benny's show. Sue's changed their hours, so I haven't been able to get on Benny's shows for a few weeks. Plus the fact it's been graft, to be really honest. And I was on holiday for a couple of weeks, and whatever. It was easy when I was off because you just walked straight upstairs because you weren't doing it anyway. But that's a good thing if you actually notice. I ain't been on the injections either. It's pure and simply, I've cut out bread and I don't drink, so that's it. June 2077, no more vape reviews. It's classed as promotional and libers. No, right, yeah. Oh, there you go then. Hopefully, what do they call that guy? Guy Fawkes. Hopefully Guy Fawkes gets resurrected and we have a bit of a reshuffle. Because this lot are mental, aren't they, really? Absolutely mental. I don't think it's, how can you... I don't know. If it's in a patch, you can stick it on your arm and nicotine's okay for you. If you put it in a vape, it's attracted, to attract children. Now, I don't drink alcohol now, and I got to the stage where I was bad on it. I really was. I was genuinely bad on it. But if I was going to probably start drinking alcohol again, it's a bit like if you were going to start smoking again, you'd use menthol cigarettes to ease you through the cause, wouldn't you? Back into the path. And if you were going to start drinking alcohol, chances are you'd start drinking fruit-flavoured vodka or something like that, wouldn't you? Because you don't want the taste of the vodka anymore. You want a nice fruity drink. But it's all right, that. You can advertise that on the telly. Go get yourself some nice fruit wine. it's only 12%. You know what I mean? But you don't want a tasty vape because you don't need it, because nicotine all of a sudden, which was never a thing, has now turned into the worst thing in the world. It's it stunts children's brains. It does this. It does that. But it's all just it's a setup. It's made by rich people to keep poor people in control. And anybody that doesn't realise that is they need to have a word with themselves. Well, that's the first time I've used OBS. They've just done an update on it. And trying to add a camera to the stream was a right laugh. They've basically turned it into Streamlabs, where you used to select a picture and then find one. For some reason, it always finds the downward camera that I've got here as well. So I've got a range of things on my desk. Not a lot of them I've been vaping on, if I'm really honest, because I've just got used to vaping these. These little Oxford pods, they were 15 quid, bought by me, for me, nobody sent it out. It's not a promotion. I like it. I've got to do all this shit on it. You can stick what you want on my other channel. You can just do what you want. You can just go for a walk. You've no need to put a warning thing in there. You've no need to do out. You haven't got to do out. It's so easy to do something. I had 6 months off the beer when I did my shoulder. That's the first part of 6 months. Tasted gorgeous, and it didn't touch the sides. I've got some alcohol-free stuff in the fridge, and it's been in there since June. And I rarely touch it, to be honest. Not because I've gone off beer, but I don't want to get back on it, I'll be honest. And it's not easy every day. Some days I used to drink because I wanted to get pissed, if I'm really honest. I didn't drink because I liked the taste of it, or I wanted to have a social drink. I wanted to get pissed. So I've got to that stage in my life. So I don't miss the hangovers, I'll be honest. I used to wake up in the morning feeling like absolute death. And now I wake up in the morning, feeling like absolute death, actually, because in the middle of that I had an heart attack and I have to take a load of tablets. So that's that, isn't it, really? I bet everybody sat in the garden sweating. It's been horrendous today. What's it been like in your bus, Shrek? I've had some for alcohol. No, it's in the fridge. Well, yeah, but the thing is, if you're driving, that's one thing, when I get up in the morning now, I've never got to worry. I could get into a car at any time of the day or night. I've never got to worry. I've never got to think, have I had enough time off? Have I had enough space? Did I have a bit more than what I thought? I've never got to do anything. I've just got to crack on and go and do what I want. Which, when you do what I do for a living, I suppose is a good thing. So, is there anybody else? I can't see how many people's in. Is it just me and you? Oh, how the great have fallen. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Yeah, 2 of us. Oh dear. Can you remember back in the day? 48 in bus, 27 outside. Yeah. Oh, 2 months ago. Why has it brought up the... No, that must be a different thing. Oh, there I am. Yeah, 2 apparently. Hopefully somebody will come in. People have probably got out the habit of watching them as well, to be honest. I know Benny gets quite a few in on a Sunday night. And then here we go. Albert the Jingo Spell Choir. Hello, Albert. How are you doing? Nice to see you. Nice. Back in the day when Logan, we used to be able to go live for 3 hours and there'd still be somebody in. Even people used to say to you in the end, "Are you going to go? Because I want to go to bed." We'd on for 3 or 4 hours and just chatter away, and in the end we'd get pissed and forget to look at the bloody. Everybody was drunk anyway for 2 years, weren't they? Albert the Jingo Spell Choir. That's a new one. Is that somebody coming in on an alt account? I'm pleased. What's the Jingo Spell Choir then? Spell shame. Am I getting it wrong? I don't know what one of them is. Oh, that's the strongest I get to now. I put too much squash in me water. I drink gallons of that. I drink 2 litres a day. I spend most of my evenings or most of my nights getting up for a pee. Because, no, I'm not in the quiet. All right. Can you explain the name? Albert. Unless I'm completely, I don't know. He'll probably explain to us in a minute. That's what it looks like. Albert the Jingo spell shy. It must mean something else completely. Anyway, let's go on. I was desperate I couldn't talk last Saturday night on the Saturday show because I was sat in the cab, obviously working, and they were on about what you've been watching. Last week. I watched The Devil Wears Prada 2. I don't like football and I love chick flicks and I'm not gay, so I don't think that. Nothing if you are gay, it doesn't matter. But I watch chick flicks and I love it. At the moment, 9 litres of water driving without air. Oh Christ, it's unbelievable, isn't it? Really. Anyway, I watched. It was brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. If you've not seen it, it's on Disney now, and I think it might be on Sky. But I fell out with Sky and cancelled Sky Movies because they were doing us. To be honest, they offered us a deal that they gave us, and then went back on it and didn't give us what they were supposed to, and we were paying 30 quid too much a month. And I never looked for 10 months, and then all of a sudden we looked and found out what it was. You fell asleep after the thing is, it's not probably not your thing, but I loved it. I loved the first one as well. We watched the first one again a while back, and I really enjoyed that. But it was equally as good. I really enjoyed it. So it's probably not a very manly film, but it's just what I like. I love that sort of film. I like something where you can just go and get absorbed in it, really, and enjoy it. So I ain't going to review. Nobody sends anything, obviously, because we haven't been putting it up on here. But I've been using these. I bought these while I was off because I decided I weren't going to vape big stuff. There was I've had a stacked purge for ages, and there was a charity stream on, and I put it in there, and I was pleased for it to go in there because I was never going to use it again, and it raised some decent money. I don't know if the person ever received it because I put my little letter in there, and I don't even know who it was that bought it. Now I had to go at that, but I didn't really get on with it. The same as that other thing. My brother watched this other thing, and he's watched every season of it, and we started watching it, and I just thought it was bloody shit. But it's weird, isn't it? How you can watch some things and other people watch them and think they're amazing. When I was off, I watched Boardwalk Empire from every single episode because last time I watched all this stuff, I was drunk. So I watched that again, and I watched Better Call Saul. I watched all the episodes of that. And I was going to start Breaking Bad again, but I've already seen it. I did, yeah. Yeah, I did, bless him. I've got to be really honest, I didn't really know Neil. I didn't really know him that well. I might have spoke to him, but I didn't really know who he was. In Belgium, we have Albert Helgen supermarkets. In Holland, they have Albert Heijn's. Is that the same? Or it looks like Albert Heijn's. I've only been to Belgium once. I went to Bruges, straight in the middle. I was drinking then, so we went right in the middle of Bruges, and there was just bars surrounded by bars, and it was all really good beer. We said, "Have you got Stella?" He said, "It's all Stella here." I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "It's dry hops." So and everything we got some. I can't remember what it was. Jupiler or something like that. Really beautiful beer. Absolutely beautiful. They really know how to make beer, don't they? Right, yeah. I genuinely didn't. I was pleased to put in. I mean, I tried to explain what everybody did for me when Louise was first poorly and raise some money for it. It's not just the financial side of it. It's like a big warm blanket that just comes and wraps you up when you're at the time when you're absolutely desperate and hurt. And so I always try and put something. If I've got something I can put in and I can afford it, I'll put something in. I don't buy tickets. Sometimes I don't buy tickets. Occasionally I do. I suppose if I didn't know the person, I might buy a ticket, but I didn't even buy a ticket for that one. But I just like to do something, and that was quite a special device. I actually drove into Orlando, I'd like to have done a video and just explained what that sort of thing meant to me, because it was. I went on a ride to. I went on holiday to Orlando area, and I drove into the middle of Orlando and went to Fast Eddie's vape shop. And I drove in. I made a little video of the place. I've actually deleted it now because I had my phone fixed because the battery was knackered, and I didn't back it up properly, and I've lost all the bloody videos. And so I actually went and picked that off the shelf or in this cabinet and bought that. And I've never really used it, but it was always a thing, and it was like a memento of my holidays. And I paid $179 for that. So it was about 150 quid when I bought it at the time. And that's what that meant to me. I had to actually drive all the way back to Orlando to get some colours for it, because I didn't have any colours for it when I got back to the thing. But it's something I've never really used. And since I've had my heart attack, I shan't be vaping series ever again. So I thought we didn't need it. I was talking to them at Christmas. They said it was winning against it. The news blew me for me. That's the trouble with cancer. It's bloody awful. Obviously, it's touched our family. And we know a lot of other people whose families it's touched. Because that's what you see, you know, when obviously Lou's part of different things. She's doing a benefit next year for a charity in Lincoln. It's going to be a fairly sort of nice affair where companies can buy tables. The afternoon speaker is a bloke called Mike Edwards. Now, you probably not recognise the name Mike Edwards, but Mike Edwards, his nickname is Eddie the Eagle. So he's speaking at this thing next year. There's going to be a burlesque act on that was on Britain's Got Talent, and then it's gone on to do many things. And a magician that was on Britain's Got Talent. And look at that. Did you see that? So it's going to be a fairly top-notch sort of night, that. So there's going to be, I can't remember how many tables, but we're hoping to sell all the tables out. So it looks like I'm going to have to go to that. Oh, it should be a good night. Obviously, we'll get to meet Eddie the Eagle Edwards. But sadly, Eddie the Eagle Edwards lost his sister to breast cancer, so that's why he supports this charity. I don't know, mate. I presume so, because I don't think you could reduce. He must have had really bad eyesight, and I'm presuming you couldn't reduce. You couldn't get them onto contact lenses, could you? Really, they'd be this bloody thick. They'd be sticking out your eyes. I mean, what a guy! I watched that film about him. Was it the guy that was in? I didn't know his bloody name. Can't remember what they called him now. But this guy played him in this film, didn't he? Taron. What was in that bloody? I'll have to Google it. I think it was in what was in that film about Secret Service. You know, like the Mr. Bean thing. And I think he played him. It was bloody brilliant. Or was it Ewan McGregor? I can't remember. But what a cracking film. Kingsman, yeah, him out of Kingsman. I think it was him that played him. Let's have a look. I'll just Google it. Taron Egerton, that was his name. Hugh Jackman was in it and Christopher Walken was in it. Taron Egerton played British ski jumper Michael Eddie the Eagle Edwards in the 2016 biographical film sports comedy drama. Yeah, that was, yeah. I can't remember Christopher Walken. He must have played a bit of a sinister part. So, hey up. I'm just going to have to just leave you for a second and go get my tablets, because otherwise I'll forget to take them. I did it one night while about 2 o'clock in the morning. So I'm just going to go fetch them and I'll be back. So I ain't got any old music, so you'll just have to amuse yourselves. I'll just turn the mic off so you can't hear me air conditioning. It's really cool and it'll probably annoy you. Oh dear, I've got nobody here then. Catch you later, Shrek. Nice to see you, mate. So I'll just talk to myself. I have to go fetch these because if I don't, I forget to take them and then I'll get laid in bed about 2 in the morning. And if you don't take them, everything goes a bit all over the place. Oh dear. Anyway, right, I'm back. Sorry about that. I'll just take these. That's a statin. 80 milligram statin. Everybody will tell you not to take them. They upset your kidneys, this, that, and the other. When your chest goes tight, when you're having an heart attack because you've got high cholesterol, you'll wish you had. Oops. Yeah, it's a new thing, Lee. What we're doing is we're going to play the chair. We're just going to do the chair and put music on. It's probably far more interesting than what I am. Anyway, nice to see you, mate. How you doing? So let's do a Buffy. This is a Neck Slim Go from the lovely people at Oxford. They didn't send me it. I actually had to buy it. It was 15 quid from the local vape shop. These pods are about 3 for 9 quid, I think. And I'll tell you what, it's a cracking vape, that. AI at its best. Well, Bill used to call himself the chair, didn't he? So we ought to do that, really. Ooh. It's got 2 settings on this. I think it does 18 watts. Depending on what coil you've got, and it goes up to about 30 or 40 or something like that. There's very, very... This one's like a rubberized one. It's a lot easier to keep hold of. Then I've got this one, which is exactly the same thing, but there's exactly the same message on. But that's got the... Oh, the cat wants to come in. Come on, mate. I've got the aircon on, so he's coming for a chill. Just let me shut the door. What's up? Let me shut the door. There you go. What? Move out again. Can you remember when we used to be really smooth? We used to have everything lined up, smooth transitions, just like ST vapes, and now it's just all, I'm just going for my tablets. Anyway, that's another colour of it. Which is quite like a spacey grey. It's nice, isn't it? That's got one of the original pods in, which is only 2 mil. The shop I go to, it sells you these, which are the bigger ones. So they do about 3. So that's the third one I've got. So in that one, I've got Posh Vape View, because it's amazing. In that one, I've got Onyx, which is from Concentrate that I bought absolutely ages ago, and I'm still vaping it. And in that one, I've got Vampire Vapes Eisenberg Gum, which I bought cheap from the vape shop. I've got loads of it. But I think I'm... yeah, that's right, yeah. Yeah, that's right. I've got 3 in rotation. And what I do is I take 2 of the 3 out every day. And that's what I do. I mean, they're perfect because they fit in your top pocket, they fit in the cab. You ain't got to worry about the tanks breaking off. And to be honest, I re-wicked this yesterday. And I'm not so sure if that's any better than what one of them is. I don't know. It's quite nice. Ooh. don't know. Yeah, I've been vaping them for ages. That's the Albrecht 2. On top of that, iPower. Most of my things are just stood here. What I did yesterday, I got this tank. And I popped it onto this device, which is the U-Mods, which is carbon fibre job. Little side fire job. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? I bought this off Matt Waits. He's got another one. He's got a different one. Different coloured one. And that's beautiful. But you won't want to put that in the car. They're like high-enders, aren't they? The single 18650. A beautiful little mod. I was thinking about selling it. You use it smaller, slim as well. Ah, right. Yeah, this one's just the basic one. They do another one with a screen on, and the only trouble is with that, it's got a slightly smaller battery in it. So I thought, well, no, I want the battery powered. And it tells you when it wants charging. I've been using that all day, and it's still on green. So, yeah, this one, yeah, I bought that. So I bought it at Expo, Matt Waits, and I did think when I was off, I thought, well, I might part with it, but I don't think I will. I don't normally sell anything, to be really honest. Get in. $23 watts. Beautiful little thing. I've also got one of those Danny Minis downstairs, which I put my Tripod 2 tank on, and then I also bought a second-hand vape smarter, and that is a lovely thing. That's just downstairs on the table next to where I sit watching the telly, and it's very rare I ever pick it up, to be honest. I've got used to using these, and you sort of hold them like a fag, don't you? And they just, and off you go. I usually run two far expensive mods in my truck all day. Yeah, well, if you got them using, yeah, I won't really want to put them in a cab though, because the only thing I can do is I shove it down at the front of the door pocket, and I've got my float bag there, and then I just shove the float bag up. The only thing is with these, they fall over, and I mean, you can drop these. It doesn't really matter if you broke one, you can go get another one for £15. Oh, look. It does occasionally do that. I think sometimes, though, with it being really warm, it seeps, or it's the condensation at the bottom. And it's a 50-50 juice, that. Now, I did try putting the 12 milligram version when I was still doing 12. I tried putting the 12 milligram version in that Albrecht 2, and it just leaked past the cotton all the time. Then when I looked, it's 60 PG, 40 VG, if you get everything other than the 3. But I bought the box out of the shop. When I bought it, that was full. And they had a deal on, because it's all out of code, I think. If you look at it, it's all out of date. It doesn't taste peppery or out. I don't even know where the sell-by date is on that without ripping it back. But I've still got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bottles left. So I've still got 60 ml left. But I must have had over 20 of them. But I've got some on a 12 that I'll have to give to somebody that does them. I need a sun visor organizer. The only thing is, the only downside of being 6'3" in a car is that if you don't watch it, your head's somewhere near the roof anyway. And you can't put anything behind the sun visor, because if it doesn't shut, you bang your head on it. So it's just handy when I put it down there. I had a Ford for ages, and the door pocket wasn't big enough even to put your float bag in. And that was bloody hopeless, that thing. Well, the old car was hopeless, to be honest. It kept breaking down. It was a beautiful seating position. It was like sitting in a bloody limousine. It was like sitting in an SUV. I had a Ford Cougar. Is that just flash then? Bloody thing. Oh dear. What's happening now? I ain't got any drop frames out. I've got really good internet here as well. It's over 700, and I've got it hardwired from the mesh. So you don't really get a lot of trouble with it. So is the audio okay? I haven't used this mic for a few weeks. You use 7030 in yours. I ain't tried 7030 in it. Yeah, so I could. I've got the other Onyx stuff here to get through. To be honest, that the lad sent out. Then what's up there? So yeah, hopefully I could get enough nick in them, and you just use them. Well, I'd say 3 milligrams is not a big thing, is it now? Yeah, now that's playing up. What's happened now? That's not done that before. It does it occasionally when the pod's wearing out. But how long do you find your pods last for? I've had that one in. I changed that one last week, and I put it in June, the first week of June, and I changed it last week. That's been in since about the 14th of June, because I changed it when I was on holiday in the Isle of Wight, and it's still the same one. But that's had Posh Vape View in it all the time, and that doesn't have a lot of sweetener in it. But that tastes. That's if you've never seen, got the collection. Yeah, audio phone. I got the glitch. Yeah, I don't know what that was. Whether it's the graphic card one upgraded. I tend to go live on my phone because I usually go live on my other channel, on my Walking with Mick channel, and talk to the people on there. And I use my phone because if you use it in vertical mode, you won't get away with it, I don't think, with the vape thing, because it goes into the shorts thing, and I think you'd soon get switched off. But I do it in the vertical mode and I jabber away on there, and we get quite a few different people, and it helps with the subscribers. I'm up to about, I think, 697 on there now. Whether I'll ever manage to get the bloody thing monetized ever, I don't know. But people don't seem to watch the videos like they used to. But I think people watch the videos more if you go to the seaside in the winter, because they've all got the caravans, and they have to come away from the caravans, and it drives them nuts because they can't go back there. So thicker juice for the heat months, and right, yeah. I've had this was, to be honest, this was dry eating earlier, and I thought, Christ, what the hell's wrong with that? That's only been in a week, and I looked, it was empty because it's clear juice in a clear pod, and I couldn't actually see that it was empty, but so that was good. I'm still biking. I ain't been out on it since. The problem I've got at the minute, I'm not supposed to go out above 22 degrees walking or exercising because I'm on beta blockers, and you can't cool your inner core down. So you just overeat. If I get too hot, my head starts to pound, and I'm gone, Matt. Done. So I'm waiting for it to cool down a bit. As soon as it gets cooled down a bit, I'll get back on the bike. But I'll tell you on here, it doesn't matter. I don't think there's many people watching. I had a thing, I got some blood in my urine. So I've had to go off for a scan. Obviously, I'm 60-year-old, and they thought, well, it could be that. So I've been for a not a particularly nice scan, and then I had to go for my kidneys last week just to make sure everything's good, because everything else was all right. So I didn't really want to do it while I've got that sorted out, because I didn't want to start it off again. But turns out it's just the thinners. Anywhere with a lot of blood cells, like your nose or you're going to sort of suffer it. Strange, really, because they did that to it, it didn't bleed. So, but I'll be back on it. I'm sort of wishing maybe I've got a different bike, but anyway, I'll get back on it. We'll have a go. So I'm quite a bit lighter now, so it should be a lot easier. But them seats don't have grabbo, do you, when you're a big old bloke, to be honest. But I will get going again. Quite looking forward to that. But say it's just a little bit. I have to go to. It's a bit of a time thing as well. I've changed my shifts at work because I'm self-employed. I used to work from 2 PM until late at night. And since that, I made my mind up I weren't going to work late at night, so I'll go in earlier. So I'll go in about 11, 11:30, and then finish at 8. Two nights a week, and then weekends I bang it out. And I'll be honest, by the time it gets to Monday, I'm absolutely buggered, absolutely worn out. Makes me feel a bit rough. So hopefully, when it cools down, I should be able to get going. All right, yeah, I'm on Ticarella or something like that they call it. I'm on that twice a day, and I'm also on aspirin. And that is what it is, isn't it? And so they've got a beta blocker, a couple of blood pressure medication. I have 2 lots of that. That was making me dizzy in the morning. So now I take one in the morning, one at night. Because I got in touch with the doctor, made sure I was doing all right, and that's what I did. and then there's one in there for some stress headaches that I get, obviously with things going on, and something else. But I'm on like 10 tablets a day, five in the morning, 6 at night, something like that. 4 in the morning, 6 in the morning, 4. Anyway, whatever. It's about 10, which is it's bound to affect you in other ways, isn't it? Really. But I'm just pleased to still be breathing in. Because a lot of people don't, do they? They only ever have one of them. So I've had a stent and I had a clear out on the other one. And we're good to go now. So, but the amount of stuff I eat, what I never used to do, I eat breakfast, which I never did because I have to have them back before I have tablets in the morning. I eat piles and piles and piles of fruit. I ain't had a piece of bread I probably had one piece of bread since April. I just have wraps and I eat loads and loads of salads, and I don't eat red meat. I ain't had a steak or anything like that since. I mean, what do they call it? I'm trying to think what they call it now. The one thing is, my memory is shit. It never was the best. Tiredness is part of it all. She sleeps. Yeah. That's right. Yeah, I do sleep. I sleep really well. I used to stay up 2 and 3 in the morning watching films on the telly, and all of a sudden it'll get to 12:30 at the very latest, and that's me done. And if I don't watch it, I'd wake up there in the morning. So I go straight to bed, and I get in bed, and I never have to lay there for long. You can't eat steak since COVID. What, don't you fancy it? No, I don't really. I mean, my biggest thing with this job, what I do is that you usually got a break at 9 o'clock at night. It calms down at 9 o'clock at night, and you think, all right, I'll have something to eat, but I've only got 15 minutes. So the first thing you do is you go through the KFC, and you shovel all that grease down. You're in about 15 minutes, and you're still chewing the last mouthful as you're picking your next job up, or McDonald's, or There's nothing really. There's no salad bars open at that time of night. Or you'll go get a sandwich from a shop or a garage which is full of all the if my cholesterol. That's the word I was looking for. It's usually a sandwich that's full of all them E numbers and that to try and keep it going. And it's not very good for your cholesterol. So I've got my cholesterol down to 2.4. My blood pressure's normal, and things are looking up. It makes you chuck smelling it. Yeah. Well, the steak went off, didn't it, years ago? I used to love T-bones and stuff like that with that big lump of fat down the side. Oh, rub that with English mustard. I can still remember the taste of it. But if you get it now, you might as well just buy rump. And rump's awful, but you might, it's just, there's no, I suppose ribeye is about the only one with a bit of fat in it. So to actually make it taste nice, but beef fat's gorgeous if you get that, but there's no fat. They're just too lean. They're too healthy. They're bloody rubbish. So I'll just, anyway, it was quite easy to stop it. I have about 2 or 3 days a week where I don't eat any meat at all. I used to live on ham sandwiches and stuff like that. Yeah, ribeye is gorgeous, isn't it? But I say I haven't even had one of them. I don't. If I have a burger, I tend to go for chicken, I've started eating a lot of vegetarian stuff. Lou comes for tea on a thing, and we always order a takeaway. And I have a vegetarian kebab, which is skewered peppers and onions and tomatoes and stuff like that, and with a bit of skinny cows. Well, no, they bred the fat out of them because people associate eating fat with getting fat, so they don't want to have fatty meat. But what they don't realise is that's what cooks the flavour into the meat while you're doing it. It reduces the fat down, and it goes into the meat, and that's what makes it nice. But you can't, but they just do it now for the consumers, don't they? I had a bit of sliced pork today, but that's the first bit of meat I've had all week. So I don't think I had any on the weekend. I have cheese salads and egg salad and that type of thing. I tend to avoid eating it if I can. Because I want it to be nice, don't I? Hopefully at some point they'll knock these statins down, because there must be something in there that don't do you a lot of good. Anyway, this is mine that I make. PVJ, Posh Vape View. It's got cranberry and it's got some Mullenberry shock in there, some sour in there. I reduced the shock in the last mix, and to be honest, it's a lot better because it made it a little bit bitter, a little bit harsh, and it's smoothed off now. This has been in. I decant it into this 60ml bottle from a 200ml bottle. And this has been warming up and then cooling down. The cranberry flavour has really come out of it. I've got one more fill up of that bottle and I'll have to make it again. I don't know when I actually made this one, but so I make it right. 250, I think these are. I was lucky enough to pick some concentrate up, some Onyx, and I make that as well. I've got all sorts of things here. Skinny cows, can you imagine them? We're all going to be mixing more. Yeah, that's right, exactly. Let's see if this works. This is a lovely device. I don't know if you've got one of these, Lee. The Orion Pro 2. With the, I prefer the Orion RBA in it. It's brilliant. But that's the coil out, the sturdy one. Allegedly, that's the best vape about. Which one? This one? Oh, that's Posh Vape View. Yeah. It is. Well, companies get in touch with me on a daily basis. I mentioned it to Modfog, and they were umming and ahhing. We couldn't get the price right. And then all of a sudden I decided I wouldn't bother doing it. And he rings me on a daily basis, and it's getting embarrassing, really. If you got Kelly to ring me, I'd probably sell her it. I'd probably give her it. You got 4 of these? Yeah, they're nice, aren't they? I did see him selling them. I'm on a couple of selling sites, and you get 1 or 2 people on there, and you think, I don't know what planet you're on, mate. But they'll have one of these, and they're like, because they think they can't get them from anywhere now. And they're trying to sell them for 90 quid, and I said, well, you can get them off eSig one for 65. Did you get the sturdy one RBA? Because everybody said, oh, you want the sturdy one RBA, so I bought it. And I don't think it's as good as the Orion one. But I said this coil in here is amazing. But it doesn't say out on the coil about what it is. It's coming at 0.48. 30 watts. Get in. I don't know what's... Oh dear, here we go. You've got the sturdy one, you've got the nug. Yeah, I prefer the other one. I don't know where the sturdy one is. Oh, no, that's not it. Yeah, it is. There she be. It's in there. It's just been stood there, so I think it's seeping, to be honest. So I won't be able to use that. I ain't chugged on this for about a month, and I've not re-wicked it. Who do you think you are? Green? I'm not used to all this stuff. It's making me cough. These are quite good as well. Just look a bit silly, don't they, really? It's in one of them. That's the... I'll remember in a minute. What's it called? The Lucia Mods something. I can't remember what it's called now. It's nice though, that, isn't it? What's daft? Ah, that's nice. Oh, that's, yeah, this is daft, yeah. Vape's like it's a bloody good vape. It really is a nice vape, but it just wants to be a different colour to what it is. The Fakir mods, Elusia. Is it Elusia mods Fakir? That's right. But that's it's not the mech. It's the one with the, like a exome, that type of thing. And on top of there, I've got, what do they call it? The Diplomat? Diplomat. In short mode. And that vape's nice, that. I've got, I was vaping this the other week. That's a nice tank on there. Really easy to wick as well. You don't have any trouble with it. Plenty of airflow. Got it on the Exome V3. And this is some stuff I made up myself just from, not from concentrate. I actually mixed it together. This is a thing called Dr. Beat It. It's 1.5 mil. That was just, I think it's a single concentrate with something in it. Nice gun here. I don't know what that means. Oh, the Diplomat. Yeah, it's lovely. I've got the other one as well. Where have I put that? I've got 2 Diplomats and a Prime Minister. Yeah, Prime Minister's on the other one. And then I whipped that up as well. That's just a blue ras bubblegum, and that's really bloody nice, that is. I think that's what's in that, in here. So that was a cheap mix. 100 mil at 1.5. I've got loads of nicotine anyway. I should keep going. What's the tank on the X? It's the... Precisio GT. Yeah, Fakirs have gone, haven't they? Yeah, they've gone, they went belly up, didn't they? Pugs has got the mech version, and I think there's a regulated as well. I got that in one of Vic's auctions. I ended up with that and something else that I didn't want, so I'll give them away. But I actually went for that, like, because that's what I was after, and that is a really nice, it's a decent mod, that. And it's also, it's easy to hold. I've got hands like shovels, and it's, it's a fair thing. The buttons down the front. I say that you have to keep taking the battery out of it every time you do it. The Prime Minister's good as well. Have you tried the Prime Minister? They're not cheap tanks, but they are good. It's amazing when you look round on here. I mean, I've got this here. Bogan's Lascar. They're down to about 120 quid, but not the Bogan version. If you want the one that's just the normal colours, they're down to about 120 quid now. If you look round from the Lascar V2, it's a really well hitting mech, that. And they're ever so easy to clean out as well. Did I get the Diplomat in a box with more tops? I did. I got the full version because I bought it off. What do they call him? He used to be on the Saturday show and he disappeared. I'm in a group with him and he pops up on there, but he never posts. Mr. God, how I can't remember fucking anything. It's driving me mad. Smashing fella. Everything you buy off him is like brand new. But he hated the Diplomat, so he sold me it. No, not Mark. Blumpkin, Lord Blumpkin. And he absolutely hated it. So he sold me it all for the price of what you would pay for the normal one without that. But I didn't realise then I had to buy another base for it. So you can get the RDL base for it. So I bought the RDL base, I've got the other base, and then I've got the Prime Minister as well. No, that's who it was. It was Lord Blumpkin I bought it. Comes in a bag with a load of bloody pots. And I say I managed to back 2 tanks up out of that. I was going to get another RDL base, and I thought, for what I'm going to use it for, what's the point? So that's technically not an RDL base. But I managed to get a bit of... I maybe did buy another RDL base, to be honest. I think I maybe did. I maybe bought one, because you could pick them up off Nature Vape for 25 quid or something. So I maybe did actually buy one. But then I should have bought another glass. Or another chimney or something, because I didn't have enough to make it into big. But it just fits on there just nice anyway, doesn't it? So, I've got loads of bloody stuff. You just keep buying it, don't you? I ain't bought anything recently, to be honest, because I say I was off for 8 weeks. So I'm not the wealthiest man in the world. I'm doing all right, but I'm trying to pay for a villa to go on holiday. And I'm just happy chucking away on these things. I must admit, when I was laid on my back in the hospital, I was wondering if I ought to maybe just pack it all in. And then I thought, well, I don't drink, and I don't do drugs, and so if I don't vape, I'm going to be one boring bugger, aren't I, really? So I decided I won't bother. That's nice, that. I should use them more, really. I mean, I could cope with that. That's all right. I definitely wouldn't want to do a massive, really. I suppose I'd do a sub-ohm tank, but I certainly won't want to go on to big mechs and stuff. So with mouth this one. Yeah, I've put it all in a drawer. Maybe there's a drawer full down there and a drawer full down here. There's some good stuff. It's stuff that's cost a lot of money. I don't sell stuff. I give things away to odd people, and especially if it's on a appeal or something like that. I've got some. This is lovely. This is the Aspire GoTech Pro. I've got some pods for it somewhere, and can I ever find it? Anyway, I found out they do the 3mm pods down at my local vape shop, so I was supposed to pick some up today, because that is a lovely device. No, it's right. I think what it is, that when I smoked for years, and I really did. I got stuck into loads of fags, and it took me a lot to get off them, even with vaping. I don't know how people are going to do it now, because they're going to make it that boring. It's going to be a waste of time stopping smoking, really. All in the name of, it's for the children. So it's just another thing. But I think they want to hand you back to pharmaceutical companies to sell you patches and gums and sprays and all this shite. Because they know you'll never actually succeed. So you're then trapped between pharmaceuticals with all that crap, and then back on the ciggies for a bit, and then back on the other one, and back on the other one. And they just want you to do that. I think if they'd have actually invented the e-cigarette, then it'd be absolutely fine. It'd be the best thing ever. But you can tell what they're up to, because if you go and get some patches or lozenges, they're always the same price as a packet of fags. Because they think, well, you'll pay that for a packet of cigarettes, so you'll pay it for one of these. Or pay it to get off them. But, I mean, and on the other side of that, you can sort of see what they're on about. Because when you do go out now, how many people do you meet that smoke? I mean, I'm in a working class area where there's not a lot of money about. And, there's a fair share of people with mental health problems, and so they're always going to smoke because they, it's how they deal with life, isn't it? But when you go to a lot of places now, nobody smokes. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's it. I'd have never got off of it if it hadn't been for vaping. I mean, I must admit, for I don't know if it was for a laugh or. Because I say I don't drink anymore. I'd go to the lads into Benidorm with the lads, and I'd get me some 20 fags, but I never really enjoyed them anymore. I don't even know why I bothered doing it, to be honest. I think it was just to say I had done, but just to be a bit naughty because I don't drink. But they taste like bloody dog shit, don't they now? Fags are awful. So, and the price of them, how are you supposed to do it? How are you supposed to live and smoke at the same time? Crazy. Absolutely mad. Uh, 7 years smoke free, bloody hell. Yeah, mine's technically it's 10. January 2016, I stopped smoking. I got the norovirus, and then my mate had already started vaping, and I sort of been watching people vaping, thinking that looked like gay boys, and I'll never do that. And why would you want to do that? And I've got all sorts of things going on. And anyway, I didn't smoke for 3 days because I got this norovirus, and I thought, right, I'm going to go down to a vape shop, and I'm going to have a word with them about it. And then my journey started of how much I could possibly spend on vaping. I remember thinking one day I come home and I got 30 millitubes. two 30s, two lots of 30 ml juice. I got a TVF V4, which tasted like cotton, and a big bloody Jabo, one of them three battery Jabo things. And I started vaping, and I nearly got through 15 ml in about an hour. And I thought, I can't afford to vape. And then I discovered mouth to lung, and that's what stopped me smoking, was mouth to lung. If I'd have carried on with trying to sub home it, I'd have gone back to the fags, because they just weren't doing me any good. And I got the Nautilus, 10 ml Nautilus. They were about that big, weren't they? Were the 5 ml, 10, I think they were 10 ml. I got that and some champagne strawberry stuff. No, I ain't. No, I ain't. I could do though. That's about long enough for me, to be honest. It'd probably be all right. I might do that. I've just got out of the habit of buying stuff. I say I got these. I got that. I think that black one was the first one. I bought that from a regular vape shop, and he said he's only got a purple one in. That's the only thing he had. So I went to the other vape shop and I bought another one. And then I was just about to go on holiday, and I thought, well, I need the battery power, so I'm going to get another one. So 45 quid, I got 3 of them, and I've been. When I come out of the hospital, I thought, well, I'm going to just vape 3 milligram, and I bought some little pod vapes. I can't think what they are now. Downstairs, and I used them for a bit. And then when I discovered these, I've never really used them since. It's just a bloody hellish thing, aren't they? Hell of a draw on them. So, there'll be loads of people watch this on the replay. If you watch this on the replay to this point, thanks. You missed the competition. How does it? I've only got the other one. I've only got the ones that came with it. So I ain't really got a big supply of drip tips. I need to go on Nick's Tips and get some. Look at that in there. Like crystallised. That must be 70-30 in there. I didn't actually write down what it did. 1st of May I made that. Do you do much mixing then, Lee? Why says those Oxfords Army dummy? Yeah, well, that's it. Yeah, if you get the smaller pods, you can actually put them in your mouth and leave them there, because they fit within the shape of your lips. But if you get the 3 ml pods, it doesn't seem as easy to do it. You tend to drop it more. Actually, that'd be a bad thing, really, because that's what I used to do with roll-ups. I used to stick them in the side of my mouth, that is. And I sometimes never used to take them out and to throw them away. I used to love smoking. It was fantastic. Diplomat drip tip. Oh, right, yeah. Let's have a look. I've got a big long Diplomat one somewhere. Probably in the bag full of Diplomats. All right, yeah. I sort of. I mean, I'm not a massive mixer, to be honest. I mix up what I like. That's the mouth to lung one out, the Diplomat. Click straight in. I see what you mean. That's done it. It's just been. I took it out because I tried the mouth to lung on the diplomat, and I didn't that enjoy it at all. Now we're off. Only thing is, though, look, vaping out. There's nowhere for it to go. I've got the air conditioning on. Would you say it looks daft? Green's got one like that. Would you tell him it looked daft? You got to feel sorry for these lads that they've put their all into it. They've been making a living out of it for 10 or 15 years, and all of a sudden everything's been demonetized and they can't make any money at it. Must be pretty shit when you've been self-employed that long, because I bet they've made some decent money out of it. That's the way forward. Yeah, he's got one, something like that. He calls them dorky. I think it's called the Kennedy Eye, probably. If you look on Nature Vape, it shows you more, doesn't it? What else we got to look at? Have you tried the Onyx? Have you gone through the Onyx? Through the new Sours range of Onyx? Did you like the Onyx? $60.40. So if every time I put my 3 milligram of nicotine in there, it should bring it to about 50-50 nearly. Maybe still 60-40, so it'll fit in them nice, won't it? So I'll vape that off next. I really like the lime one of these. That's the orange one. That should be nice. I'll nick them up and I'll use them in my bloody pods. Well, I'm pleased I spoke to you about that, or you spoke to me about it, because that's probably a better experience. The only thing that gets on your nerves with these is that battery just disappears, doesn't it? Really, really quick. We're on 50% now. What a beast. I suppose I'd better bugger off anyway. We've been here an hour and 10 minutes. It's been a pretty intense conversation. There was a lot more to talk about vaping than there is about walking, I'm sure. So I don't know if anybody else is in there. We used to get Mike in a lot, but I don't know. Obviously, I didn't set it up very well. I should have set it up many hours before. But I just had an idea. I thought, well, I'm going to do something on the Vape Show channel because I'm a little bit restricted to being in at the minute. I've actually got, I do reviews on one called Mixed Reviews. Yeah, that's right, yeah. Yeah, that's not a, this is, if you like the Onyx, if you like the aniseed type, I always say it's Eisenberg for grown-ups, this. It's it's a really, really nice, out of all of them, it's my favourite juice. And that's why they sent these out to me, because I'm the biggest fan of Onyx. So that's why they sent these out. I didn't bother doing a review on them. I didn't bother doing a review on them because they would have just put it behind the age gate, so it's a waste of time. But what I did say was I'll talk about them as when I do each stream or something like that, and tell people about them that way. And so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do them in pods, I think. Just put some 72 in there. Put 3 milligram of. It's PG Nick, so should be about right, I would have thought. Do them at 3 milligram. Yeah, feeling lonely out here. It's unusual, really. I mean, I remember when we used to, every time you struck a live up, it could be middle of the day, you'd have 40 people in, 30 people in. But I bet people are hiding out the way of the bloody heat today, aren't they? And I say I'm not been on this channel for ages, so they've probably not even got the notifications switched on. I vape Stew's black all the time. Boring, really. Oh, net tobaccos, you like them? Which ones do you get? I didn't realise that Oh, that what do they call them? Drakes. They're at Langworth, which is Lincolnshire. They're not far away from us. I think it's Langworth. Because didn't he move to Germany, or did they try and move to Germany? And he came back because it weren't working out or something, or the business weren't working out. But Drake's are a fairly respectable one. I tried Les Pickens stuff. That was bloody good. Really, it was strong, but it was good. One of the best tobaccos I ever vaped was one called Oxford Tobacco from Darkstar. They actually sold one called Oxford Tobacco, and I bought 60ml with another order of something else, and I vaped that in 2 days. It was like smoking one of them cheap cigarettes that they used to do, like Mayfair or Peter Stuyvesant, or them cheaper ones. And I absolutely loved that, and I rattled through that, and I never bought any more. I don't know why. Oxford Tobacco, I don't know if they even still do it. It's probably crap now if you do. But that was the best tobacco I've ever had, or the one I preferred the most. I watched you and Bill bluffing your way through La Tabaccaria. Bluffing my way through. Did I do La Tabaccaria? I didn't think I'd even tried that. I did Les Pickens. He sent me the full box out. I've still got the thing here. The build map. I don't think Bill's a very big tobacco fan. He likes weed. Yeah, they were good. There was that was about the first thing anybody sent out. Oh, Vampire Vape sent some stuff out. That was the first one. And then Les Pickens sent me something out. I've got bloody drawers full of juice, Oh, yeah, when we started, yeah. Yeah, it was I sat at my kitchen table with a webcam that was on a thing, so you had to look down at it. You look back at what you were trying to do, and it cost you a lot of money to learn, though. The amount of microphones you bought. I mean, if I would say to anybody now, if you want a decent setup, you want a SM7B, you want a Rodecaster Duo at the very least. So there you've got 700 or 800 quid. But that's the only microphones you're ever going to buy. And you're not going to buy another Fethead or another, microphone booster that don't work right and it squeaks. You're not going to buy another audio interface. And you might cost you 800 or 900 quid, but you're not going to spend 500 quid before you spend the 9. And that's exactly what I did. You buy every microphone and then you buy every audio. I've got an audio device in there that I use for about 2 weeks. And I've got another one as well that I probably use for about a month. And then you have to have a Fethead that plugged in, and then you got online squeaking and buzzing and all that. It was like a bad camp. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's it. That's the way you do it. That's what you do, though, isn't it? You try your hardest. And then I moved up here, and then I needed to paint the place because it was all dark. It'd been my daughter's bedroom and used as a store cupboard for ages. So I bought the table, and then eventually I kept buying laptops, and then I bought a computer, and then I bought 2 monitors. And then the amount of money I've spent on doing this, and it's such a job to actually to monetize anything to get it back. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. Yeah, it was just a bit at a time, though. I picked this mic up for 200 quid and then tried the next month trying to prove it was fake, but it didn't. Bloke didn't know what he got. It was a bloke who'd bought some that wanted mending, I think, and fixed them. And I bought them from a shop. And then I spent absolutely ages trying to prove it was a fake one because there's loads of fakes. And this one just happened not to be. I bought this other one. This is the Rode. That's a nice microphone, especially when you use it through this thing. Because the good thing about the Rodecaster stuff It sets all the mics up for you. You can tweak the tones and that on them. That actually sounds nearly the same as this when you're on through that Rodecaster. But I mean, a Fethead's £50, and that's to boost your microphone signal in between your computer before it gets into your audio interface. So you don't have to turn it up too much to get all the hissing. Whereas this one, you might be able to hear the air conditioning tonight, but it's totally quiet. You normally get some background hiss because this one's set just right for where it wants to be because that's what's built into the thing. Yeah, we bought some bloody headsets, and then we bought 2 crap microphones each. Then I bought another microphone. I used that for ages though. That just plugged into your computer, but you could never turn them up loud enough. But you do, don't you? At the time, you think you're going to be as big as Grim Green. That's what you're after. But I mean, remember, we would have got bigger if we'd have started earlier on the journey. Because a lot of people had 8,000 and 9,000 subs, didn't they? Whereas we were sort of banging away to get them. You've only got a face for radio. Well, so have I. I'm quite lucky. This has actually taught me how to speak properly because I used to talk that quick. People couldn't understand what I was saying. And we're talking to people on here. I'd sort of slowed it down into some sort of radio voice. And that's how I talk to people in the cab. And then I said to somebody one day, I said, I do YouTube videos. She says, yeah, I can believe that. I said, what do you mean? She said, well, the way you talk, the way you explain things, it's, like you're on some sort of live stream. I said, that's fine. Give me a £5. So, I quite enjoy doing it. I quite enjoy doing that walking, but just since I've not been very well, I just haven't done it. We might as well have gone into a Zoom room and chatted in there. Anyway, I better go. I've got a new outro as well as an intro. I actually recorded the intro in 4K, so that's why I like my Indian music. Did you hear the intro? It's Bangra. I've always fancied a bit of that. I was looking for some free music out of my editing software, and all the other ones had diamonds on, so you couldn't use them, or they're really crappy. So I just thought, let's have a bit of Bangra, so I'll put that on. And then I wasn't allowed to use any of because I cancelled. We're not working. It was £20 a month to have the assets, like to put on the front of your videos and that. So I cancelled that. So I looked, and there was about 2 things you could use, and they were crap. So I went onto a thing called VidEasy and downloaded some stuff off there. And that's why I was a bit late coming on, because I was due to be on at 8:30, and I was still trying to organise the intro and outro. Anyway, thanks to the many people for watching. It's been really lovely to speak to all of you. If you've got to this point on the replay, you need to get alive. Oh, right, yeah, of course you did, yeah. You just had an empty chair. I remember when we were trying to be so professional when we started. You would sit there and talk about absolutely anything for the whole to the end of the show, and you wouldn't dare get up and have a pee or do out. But now I just wander off and get me tablets and stuff like that. Because people were right when we first started. It's an hobby, and I never actually made any money. So I did make a little bit. I got monetized for a while, and I did make a little bit. But I've made more. I actually, sometimes if you click onto an Amazon video and listen to the description of it at the bottom, you'll hear my voice, because I've got an Amazon store, and I put stuff in my Amazon store, and I've made £300-400 out of it in the last year or so. Probably not as much as that, maybe 3. So I've made more out of doing Amazon than whatever I've doing YouTube, and I've been trying to do that for 5 years. So it's worth thinking about, isn't it, really? Right, I'm going to go because the cat wants to go out. He's banging on the door. I had to shut the door because it lets all the air on it. Catch you soon, mate. Thank you very much for watching. If you got to this point on the replay, there must have been something else you could have been doing for this amount of time. Catch you all soon. Bye-bye.